this meeting of the Board of Education to order. It's a sad day today. As we break for a moment of meditation, let's please keep and be mindful of the family of Herb Hinks, former county commissioner who passed away this morning. Let's pause for a moment of silent meditation. Thank you. And if you will, let's stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no public comments this evening, so I will proceed with the Lee County mission statement. Our mission at Lake County Schools will teach each student the social and academic skills needed to become a responsible and productive citizen. And I would like to conclude this with the policy code for school board members. The board recognizes that collectively and individual, all members of the board must adhere to an accepted code of ethics in order to improve public education. Members of the Lee County Board of Education should avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of the board. We must avoid the solicitation and or acceptance of gifts in return for advice or assistance on matters concerning the operation of the business of the board. We must avoid the misuse of public funds. We must avoid misrepresentation or falsification of facts, and we must avoid making confidential information public. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for June the 6th, 2015?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the agenda for June 2nd, 2015.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion concerning the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ayes have it, the agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for May the 12th and May the 26th?
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion we approve the minutes of May 12 and May 26, 2015.
And is there a second?
Second.
Having moved and seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it, the minutes are approved. Okay. I would now like to recognize Patricia Caldron for a Take the Lead report.
Good evening. I wanted to have an opportunity to present to you some teachers that have taken part in a very special program this year. Our beginning teacher program received a grant from the Institute for Emerging Issues last summer, which is out of NC State. And the grant was to form a leadership cohort. So I offered the opportunity to my third-year teachers to be part of this program that would lead them through mentoring, coaching, leadership, give them the opportunity to explore leadership options, and also learn about education policy. So we had 24 teachers sign up. They couldn't all be here tonight because they are also high flyers and they have a lot of other responsibilities, but this group made it out tonight, and I want to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves to you. I will tell you that they finished their program by spending a day at NC State, and they were able to meet with teachers from another county that are also third-year teachers. We called it County to County Collaboration Day. And they talked about current issues in education, issues that they are facing. They had the opportunity to meet with policymakers and learn how that policy is formed. But we formed it for two reasons. Number one, because we have some great leaders in our district, and we want to make sure that we tap into that pool of teachers early on, and also trying to give them an opportunity to participate in something that doesn't exist in any other county. So we want them to stay here in Lee County because we can offer them something that no one else can, and that's the opportunity to grow as leaders in our district. I'm going to let them tell you their names and what they teach and what school they're at.
I'm Maggie Martin. I teach kindergarten at Jacob. Christine Durkheim, and I also teach kindergarten at Jacob Nurseries. I'm Ashley Beal, and I teach 6th grade math at Aisley. I'm Lisa Zeppelin. I teach all grades, middle school, St. Lucie. I'm Mallory Nickel. I teach Earth and Environmental Science, Geology, and Agriculture
graduation, and you'll be seeing them again because next year they'll be helping with the new teacher induction and the beginning teacher program. So, thank you very much.
Very good.
And we certainly do want to keep you in Lee County. If there's anything we can do to keep you in Lee County, let us know. And I might add, except for the gentleman with the beard, you look like my children. Are you sure you're old enough to do this? But welcome to our community, and thank you for being a part of it and being nurturing that you offer our children. Yes, by all means. It's the OG. We understand. Everybody's grumpy.
Thank you all. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it.
The chairman's report is next, and if you'll bear with me, I got a bunch to talk about. I'd like to remind everybody about graduations. Tuesday, June the 11th, is graduation at Lee County High School. Mrs. Britt said we should arrive at 7 o'clock, and you should have a pink parking pass. If you don't have one, be sure and get one from Mrs. Britt. On Friday, June 12th, is Southern Lee High School graduation. Here again, we should arrive at 7. And in years past, we parked in the media center, I assume. That's right. Okay. And they have somebody who will let us in just like normal. Floyd Knight graduation is on Friday, August the 5th. The preschool graduation is at 9 a.m. and the high school graduation is at 1 p.m. June, what'd I say?
August.
Yeah, we better do that in June. You're right. And please note that the child nutrition banquet is at the Civic Center. That's on Monday, the 8th of June. I got that right. We have 2 call board meetings in June that I want to make sure everybody has on their calendar. On Monday, June the 15th, there's a call board meeting at 4:30. That's a call board meeting. We have a joint meeting conference call with Harnett County and Chatham County for selecting a new trustee for Central Carolina Community College. And on Wednesday, the 30th of June, is a call meeting to close out the 2014-2015 school finance report. As I did not attend the meeting of this board with the county commissioners concerning the budget process, I would like to call on Mr. Akinosho to give us a brief report on how that went, and then I'll conclude with some comments on the budget process.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I want to just give us a little brief of what happened on that day. I know everybody were well represented on that day with the Board of Commissioners, and it was a very friendly audience. We have the superintendent made a presentation to the Board of Commissioners, and they're all receptive, and he actually brought in some of our students who are going to college, and they spoke over there, and it was Fox and what's the name of the other girl?
Alexis Fox and
Alexis Fox,
Eddie Gonzalez.
Eddie Gonzalez, and they did a very excellent job. I think they are good communicators. They know how to communicate and hold the audience. So it was wonderful to see them there. And we made our presentation, and the Board of Commissioners didn't ask us too much question, except that they listened to us, and it was very good meeting, and I feel very good about that, and I feel the rest of the board felt very good. We were well received because of the homework the superintendent and all these students have done, and our finance department. So it was a good meeting, and we are expecting some good news from them in the next few days.
Thank you, Mr. Akinosho. And last evening, the county commissioners held a open meeting, open hearing on the budget. We had an opportunity to speak. The superintendent and I both spoke in favor of the budget. 3 teachers were there. Let's see, Cynthia Wicker spoke, Paula Layton spoke, and who else?
Justin Wilkinson.
Justin Wilkinson. Jan Tart from Southern Lehigh spoke. The speakers overwhelming were in support of the budget, and it was well received. Again, I agree with Mr. Akinosho that the budget was very well received, and we're looking forward to good things for next year, finance-wise. That concludes the superintendent's report. Dr. Bryan, would you like to conclude with the superintendent's report?
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Just like to add one thing. I believe, I can't remember, Vicki Wilkins was there as well last night.
She was.
Representing,
Thank you.
and also community members who spoke on behalf of our schools. Just for some of the teachers in the audience and community members, just a reminder of a couple of things that are in this budget I think are really important. Our Board of Education has made a commitment to raise the local supplement, and the first step in that is sort of a 1% increase for this coming year, which is part of it's the priority request within this budget from our Board of Education, and the goal is that within 3 years it will be at 10%. So our board understands the need to continue to retain quality teachers that we have, and also to attract the very best teachers possible. There are several other things listed in there, including a capital request that would continue to maintain and upgrade our facilities, and also a request that Mr. Akinosho referred to regarding academically AIG students with additional support, additional AVID support, and intervention teachers. Ms. Jill Britt, who's an intervention coach, literacy coach at Deep River Elementary School, came and did a wonderful job speaking to the commissioners last week about that. So we are certainly appreciative of their consideration of our budget request, and the county manager has put forward a request of a 7.5 cent increase in taxes to support an increase of funding for various causes, 3 cents of which would go towards the Board of Education and our school district. So we're very appreciative of that. Tonight, I would like to recognize someone each month. I give out a Superintendent's Extra Effort Award, and it's for someone who sort of is behind the scenes and always does their very best for our school district. Tonight's recipient, when I came here in 2006 as assistant superintendent, one of the very first people I met was this gentleman, and he was very open and frank and honest about our school district and his support of our school district. And since that very first day that we met, he has never wavered. He is a supporter of Lee County schools and the children who go to our schools. He supports us in so many ways, and is wise counsel not only for myself but for us as we try to involve the business community. As you all know, we have taken a very strong stance towards having all students graduate with more than a high school diploma. He has been an advisor in supporting our goal and helping our goal, and helping us to sort of craft a vision for our school district that I think is important for our individual students, certainly, but also vitally important for our community. And I think it goes without saying how much he means to our school district and how much we appreciate his efforts. So it's with a great honor tonight, and I hope the school board will come down and we can get everybody's picture with him. I'd like to recognize Superintendent's Extra Effort Award, Mr. Bob Joyce.
I've never been accused of needing a microphone, so let me get it up here. So I don't really need a microphone. Thank you, Andy, very much for those kind words, and thank you all for what you do. It makes
we would love for you to do that.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, thank you.
At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Jim Atkinson to come forward to recognize our Clean School of the Month recipient.
I'd like to say good evening also. Hope everybody's well. It's a double pleasure this last month of the year to give this award out to Greenwood Elementary School. This is the second time that they've had a perfect score. And this time I would like for them to come up and receive the Clean School of the Month award for their honor that they've had. Parker and their staff. And while they're coming up, I will say that all schools, this is the fourth time that we've had 91 or above. So the fourth time out of 8 months that we've done this. So we feel pretty good about all our schools, but again, to the victor go the spoils. So congratulations to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Dr. Atkinson came out to our building today to make sure this was legitimate. And so I told him, feel free to walk around. I had no doubts whatsoever. As I have shared with you before, I have the best team there is to have. They care very much and know how important it is for our students to come into a wonderful place every day, and they make that their top priority every day. So we appreciate it very much. Thank you. Ms. Brown. Thank you very much.
Finally, tonight, I just wanted to share with everyone, last week and tonight, we've had a couple of award ceremonies at Civic Center over the course of the last week. And what we've been doing is we've been recognizing, as we say, we sort of have we have a very simple and well-known goal out there for all students to graduate with more than a high school diploma. Last year we had our first annual award night for certifications and credentials for students, and we awarded last year over 700 credentials and certifications, which are nationally recognized, which is great, and that's that value add we talk about for high school diplomas. Over the last week, we've been doing that again, our second annual event, and this year we've increased the number from 700 to 1,200 credentials and certifications. So we're very excited, the hard work of our students, and it's really paying off, and it's sort of those national credentials and certifications which adds value for what they can do, where they're going on to more education and straight into the workforce, and makes a huge difference for them. And just want to share that with the board, that I think your goal and your vision for the school district is taking root, and it's making a huge difference. And those things make huge differences, as Bob said, for the economic development of the community. So thank you. That's my report, Dr. Smith.
We can now continue with committee reports. Curriculum Instruction Committee, Tamara Brogan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a elementary C&I meeting at Tramway on May 13th. And during the meeting, Mr. Conway talked about transitioning into his new role for the curriculum instruction side. We also talked about the district visit from Advanced Ed and how that went, and it went very well. And the team recommended that we be accredited for 5 more years. And there was 3 categories: powerful practices, opportunities for improvement, and improvement priorities that we talked about during the meeting. And we talked about how we scored very well in comparison with 32,000 other school units across the world, that we were above average and everything. And it was a very positive visit, and it was a great discussion about Advanced Ed. Dr. Bryan gave an update on the budget process and where we were, and he pretty much covered that already just now with us. Dr. Chappell talked about the science grant that we're getting for the new school year for $175,000. It was science training for teachers. It was renewed, and we talked about that. And also, Dr. Warren gave a short presentation of her NC Title III application and went over that with the group. So then we ended our meeting, and that's the last curriculum instruction meeting for the year. And then we start up again next school year, when we'll be running again, C&I. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Brogan. Facilities and Technology, Mr. Sharp.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our last meeting with Facilities and Technology was on May 26th. We talked about fixing the backflow problems at Greenwood School and recommended awarding the contract to Charles Underwood in the amount of $21,717.67. We also talked about replacing the rubber mulch at Tramway Elementary, and the committee recommended to award a contract to North Carolina Playscape in the amount of $31,386.11. Both of these projects are on tonight's consent agenda. Our next meeting will be June 16th at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Sharp. Finance, Mr. Akinosha.
We had a meeting for finance on the 25th of last month, and we had a lot of stuff that we sent on the consent agenda, and just look at we are able to look at some of the things they are doing, and new things were brought to us. And I feel like if you read the packet, you will see some of the things we did there.
Thank you, Mr. Akinosha. Policy, Mrs. Bowen.
The policy committee did not meet the end of May. Therefore, we just have the 23 policies from the previous meeting on for second reading this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. That concludes committee reports. Is there?
She was saying, catch my breath for reading those later. I
before
said
she
I'm going to
starts
keep it
reading the
short and
policy.
sweet
Yeah,
now,
that's
so
right.
I have a slew to read later.
That's gonna take all of your
There you go.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Under unfinished business, we have some board policies to approve on second reading. Mrs. Bowen, would you like to take a deep breath and present those, please?
Exactly. Coming from the policy committee, we move that the Lee County Board of Education approve the second reading of the following policies: 1610/7800, 1750/7220, 2110, 2321, 2610, 3100, 3220, 3300, 3431, 3450, 3460, 3470/4305, 3620, 4152, 4400, 5022, 5024/6127/7266, 6000, 6230, 6410, 7810, 7920, and 8510 to be approved upon second reading.
The motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all is in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion carries, and these policies are now in effect. Before we proceed with new business, I just saw Aaron Fleming walk in, did I not?
Yes.
Is that Mr. Fleming? Do you have some words of wisdom for us from the legislature?
I do not. I was in the neighborhood when the event across the street. Thought I would stop by.
Well, we're delighted to have you here, and we thank you for your representation, and I know that you're speaking on our behalf at the legislature. We can continue now with new business. Dr. Bryan, would you like to introduce the calendar of events before I make the motion?
Dr. Smith, as everybody's seen from your packet, have the calendar of events for the next year for the Board of Education for your consideration and approval.
Is there a motion to approve the calendar of events for 2015-2016?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Lee County Board of Education approve the 2015-16 Lee County Board of Education calendar of events.
And is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The calendar of events is approved. Mr. Hart?
Mr. Hart is across the street with our Certification Credentials Award, so Dr. Smith, it's okay, I will handle that tonight with the House.
Would you like to bring us up to date on what has transpired?
We had our annual house auction produced by our Lee County High School and Southern Lee High School students, and we have set a record for auction, a bid of $81,000, which I think is a testament to the work of our students and our staff members and the effort put forth by our folks to sort of get the word out. And there were several people who were bidding on it, and I think anybody who went inside that house understood what a quality product it was, and even at $81,000, they're walking away with a great deal.
In that case, is there a motion to approve the sale of the Carpentry House Project House bid?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we approve the sale of the Carpentry Project House bid.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The Carpentry House Project House is sold. Dr. Bryan, would you like to comment on the revised early college calendar before I ask for a motion?
Finally, Dr. Smith, we are back with the Lee Early College calendar once again. We corrected one thing last time, and now just to bring ourselves in line with the Central Carolina Community College calendar work days, we're asking for the change to October 12th and 13th, and we will hopefully finalize this calendar tonight.
Is there a motion to approve the revised Lee Early College calendar?
Mr. Chairman, I move the Lee County Board of Education approve the revised 2015-2016 Lee Early calendar.
And is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion carries. The calendar is approved, I hope. Mr. Hakanosho, would you like to make a motion that we continue with our closed session portion of our meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Lee County Board of Education go into closed session for the purpose of discussing information that is privileged, confidential, or not a public record under NCGS section 143-318.1, subsection A and 1.
And is there a second to that motion?
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. We may continue with our closed session meeting. Back in open session, is there a motion to approve the list of one-year contracts as proposed?
I make a motion, we approve the one-year contracts as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or conversation? We can have that either way. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion carries. And is there a motion to approve the Human Resources Report as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that the Human Resource report presented to us be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposing, like sign. The motion carries. The Human Resources Report is approved. And that concludes our meeting. If there's a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned.